because I'm a petite woman, even when I buy petite clothes, I usually have to have them altered, namely the pants. Not so much anything else. The shirts usually fit well, however, the pants are always too long. So in this case, I have to take 3 inches off. So I'm marking it 3 and 5 so that I have enough to have a 1-inch hem. And I'm using a blue sewing pencil to mark, and this will come out. And I just come up from the hem. I've already measured, so I knew what I needed to do. That was done off camera. Now, when we get over to my sewing machine, don't laugh. It's a 1952 Singer, and I consider it a workhorse. It's never been to the repair shop, and it just keeps going. I don't know what I'll do. I don't even know if they have people that work on sewing machines anymore. And I am by no means a seamstress, nor was my mother. Just enough to get through and do hems and repairs. I have made things from patterns. Okay, I've already done the other leg off camera. I invested in a good pair of scissors just for cutting of cloth. Now, sometimes I go up and iron it, and other times I just pin it without ironing it. I find sometimes when you iron it, you don't have to pin it if you use starch. And I'm just going up to that blue line, and I'll have the perfect hem for my pants. Perfect length. This used to be my office and now has become my craft room. So here's the 1952 Singer. My mother got it when she was first married, and I don't know how much she paid for it. You can see where dogs chewed the corners, and it's very heavy. And so now I keep it set up down here because it's just too heavy for me to carry. It used to stay up in a closet, and then when you needed it, you just went and got it. But again, it is way too heavy to carry anymore as I've aged. So now I just keep it set up all the time, which actually helps me sew rather than put off. Probably what I hate most about sewing is changing the bobbin and the thread. Okay, let's thread this. As you get older, you need to use some aids. One of them is a light. The light stopped working on the Singer, so I just put a hat on that has a light on it. The other thing you need is this little, helps you thread the needle. And if you're lucky, well, I seem to be having trouble today. The other aid I have is a magnifying glass. And there we go. We got it in. Then you just stick this through and pull the thread through. Didn't catch it. Okay, we caught it now. Okay, we're set up, all set up to sew. And of course I put my needles in backwards. Like I said, I'm not a seamstress at all. And I don't sew that often. You know, maybe 7 times a year, maybe less. And one leg is done. An interesting fact, I have used saws downstairs in the garage since high school. You know, Dad taught me how to use them safely. And the only time I've ever been hurt is on a sewing machine. I was making a costume when I worked for the Salvation Army, an elf costume for Christmas. And I ended up sewing my finger, not paying attention, I guess, and, you know, working it like this. And the needle went through my nail and my side of my finger 3 times before I could react. That's how fast the sewing machine is. So I have always said that the sewing machine is the most dangerous tool I've ever worked with. And let me tell you, that hurt. And there we have it. Not bad for him. Again, I'm sure a seamstress could do it better. When I did a lot of court work, and so my clothes that I used for court, I always had a seamstress do. However, for everyday slacks and blouses and shirts, I'll do those myself. Now I have a lot more other sewing to do, however, I'm not going to show that on camera. Thanks for watching.